So Civil War happens, Civil War ends. 13th Amendment is ratified. 4 million people join our citizenry. That means 4 million people now are free to do whatever they want. But these are 4 million people that used to be slaves and are still stuck on the plantation that they started at. Mm-hmm. So are they going to stay and be sharecroppers? Sounds pretty miserable. But for some of them, they have no other connection, no monies, no direction. So they stay. It's the unfortunate, kind of repercussion of that. The government will promise 40 acres and a mule. You can work your own land in certain parts of, the South. That the government didn't follow through real well during Reconstruction to make that happen. So there was this other offer, join the Army. And so there were a whole lot of folks after the Civil War who get engaged in the next battle that the U.S. government takes on, and that's the Native Americans out west. So these folks who have just been emancipated are now going out west by government orders to go round people up and put them on reservations. Like, how sick and sad is that? It's a job. It pays money. These are meals. Mm-hmm. And I'm not in the South anymore. No. They fight so well, so valiantly that the American Indians will nickname these African American soldiers Buffalo Soldiers.
Man, that's downright mindful.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I don't need backups. I'm going to Harvard.
Remember these words. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I still have a dream.
Welcome to Downright Mindful, a meeting place where we explore meaning, seek connections, and examine the relationships between people, events, and the ideas that shape our world. Hosted by me, Matt Paris, my friend and colleague Paul Sawswell, each episode will dive into thoughtful conversations that spark reflection and curiosity. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get right down to it.
All right, let me put 4 names out there, and you pick one that you're most familiar with, maybe a fan of. I don't know. If I go Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Billie Holiday, or Bob Marley, of those 4, do you know any of those at all?
Yeah, I mean, I know of them all. I'm not going to be well-versed in a conversation about any of them. If you ask me for, like, my taste, I'm going Billy Joel. It's probably not even close.
Can you give me 3 Billy Joel songs, 2 Billy Joel songs, or at least 1?
Given some time, I could probably give you several. My mind goes straight to Piano Man. And then there's this one, what's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? What's that song? What's that called?
Totally recognize
That's
it.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you made it sound just like Billy Joel.
Tell that my ties are white. Yeah, that's...
Is that... Because my first thought is, I mean, back in the 80s, it's Uptown Girl. Christy Brinkley, the music video.
Yeah.
But what song are you singing?
Tell...
You're supposed to be humming this into your phone, and the phone can tell you.
It's still rock and roll to me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Listen, this guy, he's probably got, I bet there's 50 songs that I know that I don't realize it's him. He's just he's that versed, man. He's that versed. I've got some weird things happening in my ears. Can you give me just a second?
Yeah, it's cutting kind of in and out, isn't it?
Yeah, there's there's a noise gate on here to kind of keep out noises that aren't our voice, the best we can. But sometimes sometimes it's a little aggressive, and if you don't really directly speak into the mic, it's cutting you off if you don't meet a certain decibel. Anyways, back to...
you want to start again?
Hey,
again.
We'll start again right now, man.
Okay, cut all that out, and here we go. We're going to start again.
Yeah,
Ready?
for sure.
Okay, go.
Hello, Paul. This is going in. I'm not cutting this out.
I got
That's
you.
not who we are.
Oh, my word. Well, sometimes maybe. All right, let's just go Billy Joel.
Okay.
You picked all these four. Okay. So there's still a song that you didn't say of Billy Joel. You got any more Billy Joel by some crazy chance?
It's like asking me, what's your favorite bottled water? You know, like I'm just drawing a blank. Like it's so...
Do you have a favorite bottled water? That's why that's such a ridiculous question, because there's no such thing. But like,
no,
I'm going to go with the Dasani if I have a choice.
Are you?
Or no, there's these other ones. See, I don't even know what they're called because it's just water. But
I like these, and it's like literally like the cheapest waters you can buy. It's like Deer Park or something like that. You get them for like...
Yeah, I wouldn't pick that one.
You get 1,000 of them for $1, I think, at Walmart or somewhere. They're pretty good.
There's some taste quality. Yeah. So Billy Joel, there's some taste quality, so it seems. Hey, how about We Didn't Start the Fire?
Yeah, that's Springsteen, right?
That's Billy Joel. I just told you we were going to talk Billy Joel.
I thought that was a Springsteen song.
It's not. No.
Okay.
So you know that song, though.
Yeah, for sure. And we've talked about it before.
What's unique about that song?
I don't really know. What are you asking me? Like the lyrics of the song, or the?
You don't know this song, do you?
You've taught me this song on a podcast episode, like episode 1 or 2. We talked about, generations and how most of the things that are happening in our generation, it didn't start with us. It started somewhere before us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he alludes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going somewhere with this. So, there's a background to that story of, so John Lennon has a son named Sean. John Lennon dies. You're the son of a famous person, so you're going to run into people. Well, there's a story that Billy Joel tells of hanging out with Sean Lennon. Mm-hmm. By the time we get to the end of that decade, and they're having some sort of conversation about whose generation is worse. And he's nearing his 40th birthday, Billy Joel, and he decides that, this isn't a conversation that can be won. Like we can't win this debate of who's worse because there's so many things going on. So he writes this stream of consciousness song that starts with Harry Truman and goes to, Sputnik and Space Monkey to, he's running through the 50s, 60s, 70s, and all the way through the 80s. Mm-hmm. But he's doing this at the height of his powers, like his musical power. He's Billy Joel. And Billy Joel stops everything he's doing to write this song about how significant just tragedy is in the world, but it's always been here since the very beginning when you look into the chorus. So I just had this idea, I'm running this through my class today, and, so let's try it out, though. Bruce Springsteen, you know any songs?
Yeah, I'm in love with one of his songs, and it came from a cover. I mean, I was familiar with the song.
We Didn't Start the Fire, your favorite Bruce Springsteen song?
No. This one's, man, I'm just drawing a blank. It's, buddy. You might as well ask me the theory of relativity right now. That's how blank I'm.
A guy like you, there's this album called Nebraska, and I just feel like you could settle into something like that. Even when you said Billy Joel, probably the kind of, you would pick him over the four that I just mentioned. I could hear you possibly listen. I could see you listen to some Bruce Springsteen, but no.
Yeah, I like... There's some Springsteen stuff I like. I'm not typically like you're driving, like your rock and roll, your upbeat, and that's what he's most known for. That's not all he is. I'm not saying that. But the people who love him, they love that about him. And I'm more of a melodic type guy. I like to hear someone's now Bruce Springsteen's got a voice to no end. Don't mishear me. But I think if you sat down and you really wrote the characteristics of his songs, I don't think his voice is in the top 2 or 3. I think
couldn't be. I don't even know how to sing, but
it's lyrics, it's beat, it's feel, it's emotion. It's a call to action with him. Even when it's nonverbal, this guy's got a following that's just, he's the boss.
So his most famous song is?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You hear it every July 4th.
Oh yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah. It's the one we all sing it like it's an American anthem.
And it's not.
And it's really not.
It's the struggles of a Vietnam vet.
Yeah, for sure.
A decade later who, he's in the shadows of the penitentiary.
Yeah.
But I bring that up again because that song, he puts that song out, I'm going to keep using this phrase, at the height of his musical powers. Now, this is going to lead to a question, but this is my whole setup. I'm going to use all four of them just because we started something today. We'll finish it in class, or we'll continue it in class tomorrow. But it's significant that he writes Born in the USA when he's already Bruce Springsteen. Billy Joel stops what he's doing, writes this song. He's already Billy Joel. Bruce, he's already Bruce, but yet he'll stop and do this for the veterans. Literally, he does this for the veterans. So I get to Bob Marley. You know any Bob Marley songs?
I'm going to give you the same answer I'm giving you with the other two. If you'll give me a second, I can come up with I'm trying to think of that huge one that everybody and their freaking brother knows, but I'm just drawing blank.
So don't worry about a thing.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing. Yeah. Is that the one I'm trying to think of?
Yeah, that's Three Little Birds. And hardly anybody ever knows that it's called Three Little Birds. And if you watch Shark Tale with Kyler back in the day, you heard that song. Okay, so it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But he's got this other song called Buffalo Soldiers. You know anything about Buffalo Soldiers?
Not a thing.
Okay, so Civil War happens, Civil War ends. 13th Amendment is ratified. 4 million people join our citizenry. That means 4 million people now are free to do whatever they want. But these are 4 million people that used to be slaves and are still stuck on the plantation that they started at. So are they going to stay and be sharecroppers? Sounds pretty miserable. But for some of them, they have no other connection, no monies, no direction. So they stay. It's the unfortunate, kind of repercussion of that. The government will promise 40 acres and a mule. You can work your own land in certain parts of, the South. That the government didn't follow through real well during Reconstruction to make that happen. So there was this other offer, join the Army. And so there were a whole lot of folks after the Civil War who get engaged in the next battle that the U.S. government takes on, and that's the Native Americans out west. So these folks who have just been emancipated are now going out west by government orders to go round people up and put them on reservations. Like, how sick and sad is that? But it's a job.
Yeah.
It pays money. These are meals. And I'm not in the South anymore. Now, they fight so well, so valiantly that the American Indians will nickname these African-American soldiers Buffalo Soldiers. Couldn't be a better compliment because of what the buffalo meant to the culture, to survival, spiritually even. Bob Marley writes a song about the Buffalo Soldiers telling this story. At the height of his powers, there's that line again. He's Bob Marley, stopping everything he's doing and writing that song, teaching a history lesson. Unfortunately, he dies a couple years later after this is released, or maybe even Buffalo Soldier is released a year after he dies, something like that. But I am absolutely fascinated by these folks who become who they are. And then we'll pause and go, I can make another hit. I can make another, chart topper. But instead, they
So in all three of these scenarios, these guys author these songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's another one. Here, Billie Holiday. You know anything about her?
No, almost nothing.
Familiar with the song Strange Fruit? You ever heard of that one?
I'm not familiar with the song. I'm familiar with the idea just from hanging around you.
Yeah. Okay. So she's already Billie Holiday. She's already doing so many duets with the Louis Armstrongs and the Duke Ellingtons of the world. She's it. But yet this poem that is written by a Jewish school teacher up in New York City somehow falls into her hands. And somebody turns this thing to a song and gives it to her. And that strange fruit are black bodies hanging from the poplar tree. I'm giving you a lyric from the song. She's told not to sing this ever again, and she makes sure for the rest of her career, it's the last song she sings every single night.
I like it.
I mean, it's a song about lynching, man.
Yeah.
And she goes there and makes sure she does at the height of her powers. And man, I'm just fascinated. Like, do we, and this is my real question, that whole thing is a setup. Because I just took you to the 40s, the 80s, the 80s, the 70s. Okay. Do we still have artists that are doing things like that? They're getting to the height of their powers. And then they will pause and they will give us something that is so significant that it just resonates in the moment and continues to resonate. I mean, Strange Fruit was named by Time Magazine the top song of the last 100 years. When we shut down that last century and everybody was making their lists, this ended up on that. And so do we still have artists today who take not only their craft that seriously, they not only have become that, not only nationally, but internationally, but yet are willing to still write songs that, man, they mean something. Anything off the top of your head?
Yeah. A thought, because I absolutely know artists that are writing that significant of statements and stories.
Whoever you're about to say, are they going to be that famous?
Well, I'm not going to name them yet because that I'm following up with, the industry, the industry demands certain things. And most of our biggest artists don't have as much autonomy as I think some people think over what songs they're singing on a national or international level anyways. So I think the ones that you find writing those songs and singing those songs, either they're not part of some major label, which would get them into spaces where now they're a household name and a household song, or those songs aren't pushed out as, for instance, I've shared with you before, Carrie Underwood singing the Alan Shamblin song, "The Bullet Keeps on Going." Like, that is a powerful song. But in a market where, I guess you could imagine what a majority of her listeners are if you talk about ethnicity and social placement. She's a country music artist. And do you want to hear, do we want to press, as this label serving that market, do we want to press a song that could be, whether intentionally or not, taken as a statement on gun control? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to bring up Jason Isbell. This guy don't give a crap. Now, he's not Bruce Springsteen by any means.
Is he a household name?
But I think...
Does everybody know this guy?
I think because of that, he will never be. No, he's not a household name.
You and I know him. We love him. Christian Man loves him. We know people who love him.
But you don't turn on US 101 and hear this guy, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. He's
good enough, and he's popular enough to have done that. But he can't put White Man's World on the radio. They're not going to put that song on the radio. You know
so they put Strange Fruit on the radio, and then it got banned after it went number one. Yeah. How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Would a radio station still do something like that?
It depends on what radio. It depends on who they're serving, who they making their money from. We're floating into the ideas of like, if someone was doing this, let's think on the levels of like Beyonce or Jay-Z or Kanye or Taylor Swift or these international superstars, or have been in the past. They serve markets that can tolerate what I'm describing as a somewhat liberal view, because the statements that they're making would absolutely fall in the category of a liberal or a progressive view. They have some markets that can tolerate those things, but I don't know the answer. I don't have this person is a international superstar and they made this song and it said that. I don't have that specific answer, but I can't imagine. Because when you say things like that, and I say like that, like there's a specific thing I'm talking about. When you make those kind of statements, if I'm a major record label that's, everything comes from the consumer, I don't want to, why make political statements? Like, if I'm taking on their perspective, why do that when I can produce music to these people that aren't saying things like that and they're not divisive at all and just make a lot of money?
Yeah. The other part of these songs right here, like,
it's like Michael Jordan said, Republicans and Democrats buy shoes.
He did say that. Yeah. And there's so much more to that story that you just brought up. We're going to let that one lie right there. Yeah. What do we do with the Michael Jordans compared to the LeBron Jameses who would be willing to throw his hood up after Trayvon Martin, is killed? Who else was willing to do so? Like, Bill Russell, who always gets compared, but I mean, like, that dude was right smack dab in the middle of the civil rights movement, getting stuff done, making things happen, being a voice.
Yeah.
And Bill Russell would have never said what Michael Jordan said. So, when we talk about greats, you're making me chase something right here. But like, I have that thought of like, Kobe Bryant, did he ever do anything political during his career? No. But then I think, what did he do afterwards? And he wrote books. He made a short film that won an Oscar, for crying out loud. There is no telling what else that dude would have done with his life. And then I look at Michael Jordan, who, you
look at the wisdom
still my
of
guy.
That. Fast forward 50 years and look at the wisdom in choosing to write books and create literature as opposed to tweeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me finish this part with Michael Jordan. I mean, he's just taking his pride with him wherever he's gone to go buy teams and try to make them successful that haven't been successful. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's kind of hard to watch, as a fan. It's been really cool to see the evolution of a LeBron James, my opinion, or to look back to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars who really were like significantly stepping into something more than just the superstardom. And so that's it. I think that's where I'm at right now of, is there things of substance still in the world? Yes, 100%. Does it still go mainstream? I don't know. Because even when that Billy Joel song, it's a fun song. It's just fun. It's the pace at which it goes, and his video, the music video is kind of silly, but like, gosh, the chorus is so dang powerful. Bruce's song, it's an anthem.
Yeah.
I mean, you can belt that out all day long. And then and you can totally miss, because people do it all the time, what's inside of it. Bob Marley is reggae. I mean, you can still move to Buffalo Soldier. Now, the one exception is that Billie Holiday song. Have you ever heard it?
No.
It is it is her haunting voice. Yeah. And I think this is only like 2 stanzas, this song.
What's the decade?
For that?
Yeah, Billie Holiday.
It was written in the late 30s. She's recording it in like 1940.
Okay, yeah.
And then she'll sing it for the next decade. She'll die pretty young, but
yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's just, I want to hear more music. I want to hear folks come along and give me something. I don't want to always have to go search and find it. I mean, that's a selfish request, but I'd love the mainstream artists to stop whatever they're doing and go, hey, there's something going on in the world. Listen to this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Dancing in the Dark was the Springsteen song I was trying to think of earlier.
I can see Dancing in the Dark.
I heard a cover of it, and I heard that song, all of these songs that we've mentioned other than Strange Fruit have, they've played in the background of my life somewhere, even though I've not been like a big fan of any of those. I couldn't claim to be a fan, but I heard a cover of Dancing in the Dark, slowed down and really accentuating the melody. And I think I even sent it to you and Christian Man. But man, the lyrics just jumped out at me when it just changed a little bit. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not, because the boss is the boss, but
You can say it's better.
It was
if you want
more.
to.
It was more my flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's well said. I love going to YouTube with a favorite song and just putting the search in this song, that cover. Give me a cover of this.
Yeah.
And see what I discover.
Yeah, man. There's some great covers out there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that was a just for fun music. I was thinking of you. I wanted to hear, I'm not surprised that you brought up Jason Isbell at all.
No, because he is that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a household name. You're not going to hear him on the radio. You'll hear songs of his sung by other artists on the radio. But, I mean, every album he comes up with has some observations in it because he's a Southern boy raised in a holiness church, but he's deconstructed, and I think he's in a period of reconstruction, but he's also he's just got his eyes on the world, and he's asking a lot of questions, and he's now if you follow him on Twitter, you're going to find a different Jason Isbell. He's pretty, I don't know the word I'm looking for. He's kind of a butthead on Twitter. Like, he's just mean to people. But in his songs, he's not snarky and mean. He's more reflective and observative.
Yeah. So watch this. He's not just a singer. He's this other thing, and Twitter testifies.
He's my favorite music artist on the planet, and I unfollowed him on Twitter because I can live in that space. Like, I don't got to agree with everything this guy says, but I absolutely bow and salute his art, man. It's like nobody else is doing right now, or I haven't found it if they are.
So let me take that word I just used for he's not just an artist.
Yeah.
Just.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I'm a dad. I'm just a dad. You're a guy who can appreciate language and the power of language and the power of one word. So whatever time we have left, because I know we've got our eye on the clock tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this little word game. How significant is the difference between those two statements? I'm a dad. I'm just a dad. Speak to that, and you can speak to that personally. You can speak to that collectively. You can speak to that to your community. You can, I don't care what bent you take to that, but give me your thoughts on how significant that one word placed in that sentence is.
Well, I mean, with no other context, I'm just a dad is saying that's, it's relenting to the fact that that's all you are. That's what it sounds like to me. Am I interpreting that well?
Well, I'm asking you I want you to say those two lines. Go ahead, say it.
I'm a dad. I'm just a dad.
Okay. So which one are you?
Depends on the day.
That's where I want you to go.
Depends on the day. Because I am a dad, and I'm a lot of other things. But when I start, if we start exploring the idea of just me as a dad, just my dad hat on, I'm not a superhero. I'm not God. I'm not a magic man. I'm just a dad. And then there's this other thought of because we differ on something. I noticed this a couple podcasts ago. You were talking about, you're a teacher when you wake up in the morning, and wherever you go, you are who you are. And I think I get what you're saying. But I'm not that in a lot of ways.
You're not a teacher everywhere you go?
No, I don't think so.
If I said that, I don't know if I meant that.
I don't know if I took it the right way. I'll say that.
But I'll just replace it with I'm a learner everywhere I go.
Oh yeah.
I would own that.
Yeah.
I wake up a learner, I go to bed a learner, and I'm a learner all the way in between. Teacher, no, because if I'm always in teacher mode, I'm not in learner mode.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I get what you're saying now. There are a couple things that I am when I wake up in the morning. Learner's one of them.
Yeah.
Dad is one of them. I'm a dad every minute of every day and night in my own head. I'm a dad. I'm a husband every second of every day. So yeah, don't have a whole lot of more thoughts on it.
No. So watch this. So there's this phrase that's been around for a long time. Nike slogan. It's a pretty good slogan. What is it?
Just do it.
So what's the difference between do it and just do it? What does that word just do to that sentence?
Does it sort of narrow your focus?
Why didn't Nike just say do it?
Do it. Do it. Who said that? Ben Stiller? Do it.
When did Ben Stiller say that?
It's like a movie quote. People, I don't know. Just do it. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's something my dad or my granddad would say when I was a kid and I was whining about some chore or something that's hard. And I was making excuses or giving reasons why I couldn't. They say, just do it. You know, that's what.
No, you started it, but I think you just said narrows your focus, right?
Yeah, narrows your focus. That's another approach of don't only do it, but just do it. Like, alleviate all the other things in your mind and just do it.
Just say it. Just go. Like, there's only one thing right now. Just. So, I mean, like that word, that's a pretty powerful word.
Yeah.
In the other context, if I say things like, I'm just a dad and throw my hands up as if that's all I am, or if I say something like, just do it, like like that word, context is everything, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just fascinated by the power of words. That's where we're going with this. So, you know, I always give credit to Richard.
We had the yet conversation.
Yeah. I mean, that's in this, right? I mean, how powerful is that word?
Used it today, man.
Yeah. I mean, hope is embedded in that word. We haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
It's totally different than we haven't figured it out, period. Okay, well, now what? And panic can set in.
Yeah.
But hope, I think, remains. And it's just the power of language. I love language, man. I love it. I think it's so powerful. There's a book that my brother-in-law gave me at just a perfect time in my life. It was called The Rest of the Gospel. So if I told you, I have a book for you, Matt. It's called The Rest of the Gospel. What's your first thought about what that book is going to be?
Well, first of all, I want to know, is that a literal, like, is there, where does this come from? What is it? What?
It's just this Christian writer. He wrote a book. It's called The Rest of the Gospel. What's your first impression of what this book is going to be about?
Is he gonna break out the gospel of Barnabas on me right now? Is that what he's going to do?
Or he's going to take you into the gospel, which is the good news, and remind us how the good news brings rest to us.
The rest of the gospel. Oh, okay.
I mean, how powerful is that? I mean,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What is this sacrilegious? What am I getting myself into, this book? And then this book opens up the good news to remind us that the yoke that we take on, it's easy. It's light, but it's still work. It's still a yoke. I mean, that whole metaphor that's being used by Jesus is that, like there's still, I want you to do something. I still want you to go. I want you to be this for me. Mm-hmm. I want you to be transformed. I want you to be able to take care of yourself. I want you to love other people, but I want you to love your neighbor. And in that, you're loving God. And so, but there's a rest in this. And so I just thought that was always a fun one. And within that book, he talks about the holy but. Like but as a conjunction. How powerful is that? So you ask me something. And I say, yeah, but. Like, am I really agreeing with you? How often do we do this to each other? You'll tell me, like, we're engaging in some significant conversation. Hey, forget me and you for a second. It's you and Valerie. Or it's me and Sarah.
Okay.
And we're in conversation and they throw something our way and we go, yeah, as if that's supposed to be an agreement statement. But then we throw in but right afterwards. Our girl is only going to listen to what comes after that but, because that is going to be negated. You're not really agreeing with me, right? You ever tried to win an argument with your wife and go, yeah, but.
I I won't say that I have not. I can tell you that I
you once told me that you and Valerie don't argue or something. You've told me that before.
First of all, let me finish that thought. Okay. Yeah, but in a Southern home where the belt was handy,
okay,
wasn't happening with mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you out of all the literacy that I don't have even today, I wish I was better with words. I wish I was a poet and someone who could string them together way better than I do. And I'm getting better every day still at 40 years old. I think I'm not going to say they healed it when I was a kid, but that's, I would just make a statement probably. Or I would say something like, well, hang on. Or, you know what I'm saying?
So here's the next layer. Okay. Because you're on to something. Hey, Matt, I believe every word you're saying, but I just can't wrap my mind around that right now. Or I can't accept that right now. I can't accept that right now, but I believe every word that you're saying. Like if we flip-flop those two phrases to the other side of the but, does it change things? Like I'm trying to come up with these sentences that fit right off the top of my head. But I think I landed on that one. Okay. Like I believe everything that you're saying, but I just can't accept that right now. That creates one vibe in the middle of our conversation. Or I can't accept that right now, but I believe everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
Are those two different things?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like your tone is really good right now. Like, and that makes a lot of difference, you know?
But doesn't our tone change by the conjunction and what we're saying, how we're saying in combination? I mean, that's a pretty powerful one too. And when we're conscious of it, okay, which is what we are right now, we're hyper conscious because I'm bringing this into this context.
So make a statement. Which one do you believe is best? Practice.
Well, here's the point within this rest of the gospel book is be more aware of when you say, but which one do you really mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like, do I really mean I can't accept this, or do I really mean that I believe you? Which one is it?
Yeah.
So it's just what we're doing today is just I'm taking one word and going, man, how significant is that one word in the middle of that statement?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I'm going to go a different direction and just talk prefixes.
Okay.
How many RE words can you name from the Bible?
I can't even name a Bruce Springsteen song.
Whatever. Give me an RE word. A word in the Bible that starts with RE.
Reconciliation.
Yeah, it's the one ministry that we all share.
Yeah.
Okay, there's preachers, there's teachers, there's administrators. Okay, but like there is one that we all share. Reconcile. Okay, keep going.
Everything after that's going to be a guess.
No, let's just start. Okay, watch this. Throw an RE word out there and let's just see if it's in the Bible.
Reconstruction.
I mean, they reconstructed the temple. Keep going.
Yeah. Restore.
Yeah. Restoring of the heart.
Restoration. Yeah.
Sure.
For sure. Yeah. Is recompense.
If we're reading the King James, probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Keep going.
I don't know.
No.
What do you got for me?
You're a dang poet. Give me 6 more words that start with RE.
I just
threw RE. Go. Come on. I believe in you.
Gosh. I'm trying to think.
You're a dang lyricist. What are you talking about?
I could give you 6 words right now that start with RE, but none of them are in the Bible.
No. Okay. Forget the Bible right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just give me 6 words. See what happens.
Regurgitate.
There's gotta
replenish.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Yeah.
I already said restore, didn't I?
Yeah. 4 more.
Gosh, man, I need some of that neuro gum or something that Joe Rogan talks about. My brain is not working.
I don't know. Have we ever recorded at 5 in the afternoon?
I don't know, but I should have took something. I don't know.
What color is that right there?
Red.
It starts with an RE.
Okay.
Well, come on, man.
Okay.
Keep going. You owe me 3 more words.
Reputation.
Yeah.
Rhetoric. No, that's not. That's RH. Never mind. Help me, Paul.
No,
Throw me a bone.
no.
We're wasting time.
No, we're not wasting time. Watch what happens. No, we're not wasting time. Keep going.
Okay.
This is the last thing I got.
All right.
Because I'm going to land this plane, but you owe me 3 words to start with. Anyone that's listening to this have already mentioned 9 words off the top of their head.
Rebuke, repute.
Yeah. What was that last word you said? Repute?
Like repute, like to reputable, reputate. There's a ill repute.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Yeah.
You just tripped me up. You confusing me.
Well, it blew my mind. One more.
Paul, I've named like 20 words.
You have not. We will go back and we will break this down.
Rest.
Yeah. Now, how many of those words were an actual prefix RE?
Not a lot.
And what does the prefix RE mean?
To do again.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how powerful are those words? So when they show up in the gospel, can we rest in any of these prefixes? So there's this beautiful scripture that talks about renewing our mind.
Renew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That not new, but renew.
Yeah.
Jesus will talk about that. Hey, I'll send you a counselor, and that counselor will teach you. So there'll be something within us. There will be an inner teacher that Parker Palmer talks about that will whisper to us. As church-going folks, we call it the Holy Spirit. And Jesus is talking about this very Spirit of God that will indwell us and teach us, but also remind us. Ooh, remind? Mm-hmm. I mean, like, how powerful is that? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You already said restore. And like, how much of the scriptures are about restoring? Now, sometimes it's about, we're going to rebuild a temple. It was more than just the physical structure that was going to be rebuilt. It was going to be the hopes of the people were being rebuilt through this. And for us today, how much of the inner landscape do we have to allow to be mended? I love RE words. I mean, when you said reconcile and you started with that one word, I mean, it landed where I wanted to end, because it's the one ministry that we really do all share. And how hard is it to reconcile people back to each other, it talks about, and back to God? Like, that is what we wake up to do as disciples, as believers, as people of faith. This is how we take risks. So for those of us that will not ever have to be in a situation where we're going to end up possibly being a martyr for our faith, the little deaths that we die all the time are, to our ego, right? Mm-hmm. And I think for us to take up our cross and to follow is to pick up these RE words and understand the significance of what I have to do again. Am I going to have this conversation again? Am I going to have to forgive again? Am I going to flip that, receive forgiveness again? Mm-hmm. And when we continue to say yes to all these RE words, I think we're doing some really powerful work for each other, for humanity, for Christ, for our community, for ourselves, for our family. And man, I just wanted today was, the music part was just, that snatched it from glass, and I wanted to bring it with me. But I've been sitting with these words for so long of just, I wanted to stop and go, I've been told this, I've been reminded this, so I wanted to tell it to you. I wanted to remind you of, like, man, our language is so powerful, and you and I personally connect with so many people every single day.
Yeah.
And what we say and how we say it matters. And if we throw that conjunction but out there, some people, it's clear as a bell what we really mean. When we say yet to people, we really do instill hope in them that we're going to stick and stay around, with them. And if we have to, if they don't get it or we don't get it, that we will show up again and use whatever RE word that we need to in that day, in that moment, for that person, for ourselves, and that we would continue to do so. So I just love language, man. And I know you appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go there today.
Yeah, man. It's good talk. We're going to cut this one off. I know it's a quick one, but we're both right in the mix of it. You know, basketball season, CSI team season has started up. We've got a regional coming up, so I've got to get to a practice there. We're our lives are full right now. This will become a lot easier here in the next few weeks, I know. Anyways, for those of you still listening, thank you. And we appreciate you. And as always, like and share. Do me a favor. And if, something was in this podcast or one before that you really like, and you want to continue hearing this type of talk on our podcast, share that with a friend. Just do me that favor and literally share that episode, whichever one it is, whether it's this one or one before. Share it with a friend. Tell them, hey, there's something in here I want you to hear. And let us know how they respond. But until next time, Paul.
See you, friends.
Thanks, man.
Man, that's downright mindful. You've been listening to Downright Mindful with your hosts, Matt Paris and Paul Salzville. Produced by Josh Morris. Intro and outro production by Derek Kinsey. You can find us wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Thanks for listening.